Hello, footies, and welcome to Foot in Review. We are the number one independent FC24 podcast, bringing you 2 shows a week. We are available on all podcast platforms around the world, including now on Amazon Music, and of course, as a fully produced video show on YouTube and Spotify. And of course, if you can spare a few bucks and join our loyalty programs and get some free merchandise while at it, visit patreon.com/footinreview or footinreview.com and join our super close community and get that invite to our Discord server with that. Today's episode is brought to you by CarMoney, but more about them later. And on that note, let's shout out our Patreon Skybox owners. It's time to say a big thank you to Paul C, Amar L, Archum W, Mario A, Simon E, and of course, Peter M. Now let's get this show started.
Hello, footies. Welcome along to your latest dose of FC24 Ultimate Team goodness. We are Foot in Review, powered by FUTcoaching.com. It is Friday, the 13th of October. As we record this, it'll probably be the 14th for most of you hearing this. My name is Dan Wimbush, otherwise known as Wimby. I am joined by the King of the North, Ingve, and our trading guru, Shaq Attack. We've got so much to go through today. We've had one of the worst weeks of FIFA content, which gives us plenty to talk about. We've also got a new promo with Trailblazers. We've got rumoured SBCs. We've got so much to delve into. So, gents, without further ado, let's go for it. We start, as we always do on a Friday, Ingve, with our Foot Week in Review. So let's talk us through some of the highlights and the lowlights, Ingve, because unfortunately for most this week, it was lowlights.
There's not many highlights really for me. A patch helped a little bit, so maybe that's my highlight. It's a little bit easier to navigate the defender, so that's good. They felt a little bit like Per Mertesacker, not fully fit before, but now they're a little bit better, so that helps quite a bit. But I still have, disconnects and menu freeze, etc. and content. Well, that's kind of an emotional roller coaster for me these days.
Yeah, more nonsense than content. I mean, Shaq, well, Ingve brings up that patch. Of course, the first major gameplay patch we've seen. I don't recall ever seeing such an extensive list of notes from EA. But actually, as Ingve kind of says, it's only really a couple of little points of defending that seems to have changed so far.
I think defending as well as goalkeeping. I had Allison and he couldn't save a goal for love nor money. He just couldn't stop the ball for me. And he's finally recovered to being a normal goalkeeper. So I think that was one of the things that the patch actually had addressed. And I think apart from those 2 things, the rest of them, I think it's fairly okay. But I think the defending and the goal, well, especially the defending, was probably one of the most important things from my perspective, because it just was, for me, it just was really hard to defend. I just couldn't move my players. And like Ingve said, everyone felt like Mertesacker. It was just hot. It was horrendous.
Yeah, the main thing is kind of increasing the mobility of the jockey when you're not running. So that's kind of helped you sort of stop the R1 dribble abuse that has been going on through the first couple of weeks. Ingve, you mentioned content, and I sort of teed up at the top of the show. It's been more non-tent. We have seen many rants from content creators and things like that. I think the coup de grace, the peak of everyone's anger came on, was this Tuesday, I think? All the days blur into one, where EA decided to release a Steven Bergwijn SBC, which is a 4-star, 2-star road to the knockouts SBC. Ajax player, of course, okay, bad enough. The other thing they decided to address was an objective. If you were to win 20 games in the Elite Division, you would get yourself what, Ingve?
You would get the gold players pack, untradeable, of course, and you would get the Champions VIP arena.
Nick, running the Foot Market, did a brilliant rant on this. It was an unplanned rant. He was just live on stream, and he just absolutely teed off at EA. And Inception has done a great sort of reaction video as well. I very much encourage people, once they watch this show, of course, to go check those out. But just utterly mind-blowing. The best line from Nick was like, "This VIP area better have Snoop Dogg in it. It better..." And I was just like, and it's kind of the nadir, wasn't it, Shaq? Because so little content. We talked on, John and Nate talked about on Tuesday's show, the fact that we hadn't had a puzzle SBC for about 2 weeks. That has changed tonight, I'm delighted to say, but it really did feel like EA had just almost given up.
I just find it really, really strange that they would even put that for the Elite Division, because firstly, it's really hard to get into the Elite Division. You'd rather have nothing for playing 20 games in the Elite Division than have that for winning 20 games in the Elite Division. It's just, it's really weird that they actually put that out there. And that's the thing that really, again, hopefully, the cynic in me is hoping that it was a mistake and they just haven't corrected it, because who cares? Because otherwise it doesn't really make any sense. Any person who plays this game knows how hard it is to get there. And that is just an insult to injury to get that back even.
Yeah, and Ingve, of course, this coming at the time when realistically the only content we've been getting is awful player SBCs where all of them seem to be flawed. None of the milestones players seem to have play styles or anything onto it. But of course, the store packs keep coming.
Yeah, we're so lucky to get all those nice packs. So cheap as well. It's like the one was 200 and was it 75 or 85k, the most expensive one?
Yeah, and more tonight as well for the launch of the new promo, of course, just in case you've still got any money left.
Yeah, if you got coins left in your club. You got the Trailblazers Essentials pack for 85k, which is probably the kind of cheapest one, where you get 10 attackers, 10 midfielders, and 10 defenders or goalkeeper. All rare gold, some lone player pick thing, and there's the premium one that costs 175,000 coins or 2,000 FIFA points. That's almost the same as the other one. So with one more player. So
the interesting thing is the more expensive one has a 16% chance of getting a Trailblazer.
Yeah,
which is fairly high. It's really high. But the only trouble is it could be one of the non-great ones from MLS. That's the trouble.
Yeah, I did the 85k coins one with my weekend league spoils and didn't get anything of note. And I think my choice of lone Trailblazers was between two 84s. We're going to come on to Trailblazers, don't you worry, a little bit later in the show. But Shaq, I was having a conversation with somebody else from the Discord this week, and we were talking about the fact of the Inception reaction to Nick's rant, and the comment was kind of along the lines of, well, you know, it is content. You don't have to engage with it if you want to. Do you feel like maybe we're too demanding now as a community, or is this a case of, well, I mean, what do you think about it?
It's a really interesting point. I think some part of the community does believe that we shouldn't be we shouldn't be complaining about getting any content because it's 10 or 15 days within the game. I completely get that. I understand that perspective. But the thing that I don't understand is, on one hand, we're getting objectives and milestones and those kind of cards that are almost unusable when compared to the other cards that are available through either the store or through really expensive SBC. So there's a huge disparity. I mean, back in the day, maybe even a year ago, 2 years ago, these objective cards was something that we could use, that we would enjoy for a little while. If we don't even have the opportunity to use them, what is the point of having them in available? That's the part that is really, I think, annoying most of us, is that we want to use these cards. We find these cards really unique at the start of the game so we can actually enjoy them. If you're not able to enjoy them, what's the point? What really is the point?
Yeah, I mean, Ingve, I think one thing that I did actually notice through playing Weekend League, I crammed all of my games into Friday. I know I should seek help. But one thing I did notice was actually the amount of times I came up against Diego Carlos, and the amount of times I came up against Damian, who was the objective player, wasn't he, from the Champions League. Yeah. And in both those cases, I think a lot of people looked at those cards and went, oh, they're not really useful, not up with the power curve. I found both of them quite tricky to come up against. Do you think, is there maybe another argument as well that maybe we're just getting a bit too snobbish?
I don't know. I wouldn't say snobbish. It's kind of EA that have built the hype and expectations. It's not us. They've been kind of feeding us more and more and teasing us more and more. And yeah, with all the leaks going on as well, they kind of build up a little bit of expectation as well. And when we finally get those things released, they are usually not as what we had thought. They are usually kind of way behind the curve before actually you get them into your club. At least it seems. I've tried Darmian and he was okay in squad battles, semi-pro, but I tried him in Rivals in Division 6 and he got rinsed so many times. So I'm not good enough defender to being kind of getting the best out of cards like that. So I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, I mean, Shaq, the other side of the coin is, of course, today, as we record this on Friday. By the way, if we're looking disheveled viewers of the web show, we are recording this at 11 o'clock at night, UK. That's, I think, midnight time for you, Ingve. And it's, 8 o'clock in the morning for you, Shaq?
Exactly, 8:15.
There's a reason Shaq's looking all fresh-faced and me and Ingve are like, where's bed? But Shaq, today we've had the other side of the coin. So we talk about these cheap SBCs that no one's ever going to want to do, these milestone players. Today we've had some absolute monster players, a hat trick of players that would get into, I would say, probably 90% of sides. We've had Rodrigo, a Trailblazer card, the Real Madrid winger. We've had Heung-min Son winning the Premier League Player of the Month, and we've had Rafael Leao winning the Serie A Player of the Month. Now, before I give EA too much credit, of course, they don't pick the Serie A or the Premier League Player of the Month. So it's just happy coincidence that they're winning it, and it's not, say, I don't know, Sven Botman and generic Serie A player here. Sorry, Serie A fans. Sorry, John. I'm tired. But do you know what I mean, Shaq? So the thing with these cards is they've all come out and then they're really expensive. So then you've already got people going overpriced. Is there almost a sense that people, EA can't win?
I think, last night when the things were released, I was in two minds. I thought, it was really expensive. But as I've slept over it, and I thought it's not really in EA's control. And they can't really price it any lower than they have, because if they had, that would impact on the market. So, for example, Heung-min Son, if he was priced at even 100 or 200K cheaper than what he was, that would have a huge impact on his inform and the rest of the cards in that price range. So they're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. I get that. I really get that. And I don't really blame them for those two SBCs. In a way, I think it's a tricky one because they're open for 30 days. And I think it's probably the balance is sort of okay with those two, unfortunately, even though they seem expensive right now. We have 30 days to complete them. That part I get. With Rodrigo, I think it's an interesting SBC. He's got a better trait, better play style compared to his gold card, so it could be worth it. But the one thing that really, I think it's less than 20 days into the game. I'm just thinking there's so many new cards, and I shouldn't be complaining. But for example, I'll give you an example of mine. I just backed Heung-min Son on Thursday. I backed a gold Heung-min Son. I was really excited to use him. 2 days later, I'm considering, should I be doing this Player of the Month SBC? I want to use the gold card. I really want to enjoy the gold card. And that's the part that I don't really think we need so many different varieties right now. And again, I get the Player of the Month is out of EA's control, but the general gist goes for all the other cards available right now. There's so much of high-priced cards available and not enough. The progression seems to be really super fast.
Ingve, I know that you looked at some of the upgrades EA had given these Player of the Month cards and you weren't that impressed.
No, it's I kind of we got the Player of the Month after everybody remembered the 89 rated Heung-min Son a few years ago that cost around 150K or something when he was released, and he stayed probably almost the whole game for many. Great card then, and kind of never got surpassed and was along the curve all the way. I'm not expecting this now, but these cards are really an upgrade on their previous informs. So the Son one is like +1 on a few things, and I know he has a few more positions compared to his normal card, but the inform has that as well. And I wish that at least it should be 2 inform upgrades, because now if he gets an inform, this one will be obsolete, and then the kind of value is down the toilet. And they need to make them more unique. When you win Player of the Month, you've been great for a month. You should get some kind of specialty about that card. Maybe he scored 3 goals on a header, for example, then boost that much more than normal. Give him some kind of cool power header trait or something like that. Same with Leao. Give him maybe a 5-star weak foot, change his work rates, make him a double inform upgrade at least, making him a little bit more special. Now it's like barely an upgrade to his other card, and 300k for his dynamic is not worth it for me. So they need to be more special. Because it's fun if you have the coins. Of course, it's a very good card if you can fit him and afford to do it. But for that price, I think they should be a little bit more special. Yeah, sure.
Can I ask a question? Just want to understand. Would we have preferred having a human Son at 1 million coins or above, but a much more juiced card as opposed to this card, which is neither here nor there? Seems a bit more expensive, but not a great upgrade on the gold. But it's better, but not a great upgrade. But it's very expensive. What would we have preferred?
I would prefer the price that is now, but it's +1 and maybe either skill moves weak foot upgrade or a cool playstyle plus extra with the same price, because it's still expensive, but I feel it should be kind of worth the coins, and for a +1 when he can get an inform at any time anyways, because he's doing great, he's in great shape, great form, scoring goals for fun. So this card will kind of lose its value maybe after a week if he gets an inform. So then the whole point of this card is not special anymore. As a player of the month has performed over a whole month playing great, and he's been the best player probably in that league. The card should be special, and this one, for me at least, doesn't feel special at all. It's a good card, no doubt, but special, no.
So you're not going to be spending 750,000 coins on it?
No.
I wouldn't mind a 1 million coin juiced up 91 rated Son with a load of play styles added on, but I would need a grind to get there. And I think this goes to one of the frustrations from the community this week, and a great thing that many content creators have pointed out. There is no grind. EA have done an amazing job of creating this economy now where everybody's scared of losing coins. The market crashes constantly. I know both of you lost coins. I've lost some coins on some players today. So, and there's so little ways to get those coins into your club back because everything is untradeable. Almost, today we've had a puzzle SBC. Oh wow, for a gold players pack.
Sounds familiar.
I know, flavor of the month, isn't it? So it's so hard to make coins unless you are dedicated on the market, and obviously myself and yourself, Ingve, as well. We're active. We try our best to try and make coins, but it shouldn't be that way. We should have things like League SBCs. We should have things like a better repeatable upgrade grind constantly throughout the cycle, but it's not there. So in that circumstance, how are most people going to get 1 million coins to get that Son? I don't know. But gents, anything else from this week in FIFA you wanted to bring up, Ingve?
I can mention the Bellerin card as well. We got that was delayed for some reason as well, but that's okay. That can happen. But that card is like, it's bad, just bad, and for the price as well. And he's not going to get an upgrade for, I don't know, 5-6 weeks or something. And still, if you get both upgrades, I still think he won't be worth it. So the wrong work rates for a right back and bad weak foot, bad strength, bad composure. It's like, and of course he is one of the kind of copy paste species we get every year as well. So which I find boring. There have been a few cool new ones which I like, and of course the Steven Bergwijn card is of course another copy paste one. Diego Carlos is a copy paste one. Kubo, well, he was player of the month, so we can't really complain about that, but he's a well-known face. Leroy Fer is a well-known face. Yeah, it's like it's not the same excitement when you get the same cards just in different clubs from years before. There's so many other cards they could have chosen that could probably have been more usable as well.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible as a fodder dump. I mean, there's an outside chance it becomes an 86, 87, and at that point, maybe it's worth it for fodder
it's
value.
not. Yeah, fodder maybe, but how much is an 87 rated card at the moment?
About 15k, I think.
15K.
Yeah, so it's not worth it for fodder either. So and you can just go with the Lorente card. It's probably more than good enough if you need anything for objectives, unless you really need to have a first owner card from La Liga, which shouldn't be a problem to pack any usable card anyways for right back position. So
fair enough. Shaq, anything from you from this week in FIFA you wanted to bring up?
Oh, look, I'm still struggling with the amount of content for the sake of content and the store packs. I think you hit the nail on the head with regards to the grind, and I'm really struggling. For example, I really wanted to do one of these SPCs just to see, for example, Rodrigo and Son both are in my team. I thought, you know what, let me at least consider a Rodrigo upgrade. I tried to just have a look through, and I can barely complete the 88 rated SPC, barely, and I'm still stuck with absolutely no fodder for the rest of it. So I don't necessarily know how people are collecting fodder to complete these SPCs. I do see a lot of people completing them, but I don't know how.
I think the one good thing that I will say of EA is, I'm seem to stumble on these packs all the time. I think the season rewards, there does seem to be this steady flow of 83 by 5, 84 by 2. We've just had the preseason packs as well. Of course, that couldn't come and go without an EA cock-up, because they accidentally gave a load of people, including myself, an 85 by 5 instead of an 85 by 4. Some people didn't get their packs on time. Some people didn't get their packs at all. It's just, this company can't help themselves, Ingve. And this is where we're going to go into chief rant territory, because I've got about 5 things on my list I want to go into, but I'm going to give you the floor first before I go off on one. They're just not learning, aren't they? They're just not learning.
No, there's the same mistake every year. Same things, different packs. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Their quality assurance department must have a nightmare these days, because it doesn't seem like they're checking stuff before they put it out. So these are basic things that they have had months to kind of prepare these packs to be released as well. And of course, the Bellerin one that didn't get released at all until in the middle of the night suddenly, but it was still in concept. So people were like, where is this card? How can we get it? And there wasn't, I don't think there were any communication about it either, which kind of annoys me the most. It's fair enough if you make a mistake, just communicate saying, okay, there's a technical problem with the Hector Bellerin SPC that should have been released now. We're really sorry, but we're working hard to fix it. I don't know what's wrong with putting out a message like that, but those things never happen. It's like kind of silent stuff all the time, which
it's arrogance. It's arrogance as far as I'm concerned. Shaq, before I completely tee off, your thoughts on the latest mistakes?
Oh, see, for example, I haven't paid too much attention to exactly what I've got, and I don't even remember what I was supposed to get. As a player that's fairly involved with the game, I still have no clue whether I have been given the exact rewards that I have earned or not. I have no clue. And that's a bit unfair, because if someone like me has no clue, imagine the Joe Blow who's literally is a complete casual and doesn't even know this exists. They have and there's no communication in game. Forget communication on X or Twitter or what. There's no communication in game saying, hey, this has happened, we're sorry, or this is not even sorry, hey, this has happened, we're working on it. Just something, anything. I'm not even expecting a sorry, just an acknowledgement of what's happened. That's the part that really gets me. And I think another, and I'm not trying to steal your thunder, Dan, but one of the things that's really bugged me this year, that's really annoyed me, I can deal with the gameplay. I can deal with a couple of disconnects because it is EA. It's fine. I can deal with that. I can deal with the menus being slow. I can sort of put up with it because I know they can be fixed. The one thing that I can't deal with is having a companion app that is unusable, absolutely unusable. And I don't understand how it can be this unusable. I can barely list a player. How are we going backwards in these sorts of basic things? That's the part that I don't really understand. And I cannot excuse that because it's really, from my point of view, it's taken away a huge chunk of enjoyment. Because on the go, I was out on the road yesterday. I had a 500-kilometer drive with the wife yesterday. I didn't even bother opening the companion app. And she pointed out and said, "Oh, it's interesting. I said, the app doesn't work. I'm not even gonna bother." That's
It's broken.
frustrating.
It's
Yeah.
broken. It's that app is beyond broken, and I think it's particularly for iOS devices that it's just completely screwed up. And you're right, Shaq. It's not acceptable. This is a company that is literally making billions. The cost to employ one or two software engineers, they could employ somebody. The amount they've probably made on packs tonight could employ someone's salary, a couple of developers for a year, 2 years to make this app. They don't design it every year. They just layer over the top of it. It's lazy. It is so unbelievably lazy. And every time this companion app, an update comes out, it doesn't get any better. This problem has been existing for at least the last two editions. So why isn't it changing? The only thing I can think of, and again, this goes back to part of what Nick was ranting about with his content and the VIP area, is it almost makes people just give up. And so, they don't trade as much. They don't try and make their coins. They don't do things. And they'll just go onto the store the next time they go onto their game. Because the arrogance from this company is staggering. Because as you said, Ingve, there's no messages about problems. The increasing attitude of this company is, don't like it. Yeah, let's see. They're daring people to leave this game. And unfortunately, we are in a situation where if you like football games, there's nowhere really else to go. And I don't know what it is going to take to change this. Now, look, I would sit here and say, EA, if you want to make some money, charge £2 for the companion app or a premium edition of the companion app. I would pay it. Shaq would pay it. Ingve, I imagine you would pay it. If we had a guaranteed app that worked, here's a hint, EA, make some money off us. Please, we just want something that works. I don't mind paying for it. I will pay that £1 a month for Footbin to get rid of the ads. That's not a problem. And at least the app works. But it's garbage. The mistakes are garbage. The content, as I said, there were no puzzle SBCs for 2 weeks compared to what I think I listed them out. And again, John and Nath said it. There was something like 8 the year before. Again, no explanation why. We had the same stupid mistakes with, you couldn't submit men's players. It was only women's players. We've had things where like evolutions, you can't put them in on the app, but you can put them in on your console. The list of errors and mistakes is a mile long. It feels like we're playing a beta version of the game. It feels like we're playing a version of a game that's just been thrown out there. I really hope their sales are down. I really hope their sales are down because they need a wake-up call. They really need a wake-up call, Shaq, because this can't go on.
You know what? I agree with your point about the sales being down, but the thing is, it doesn't really hurt them in the sense they will not revert to trying to appease the community. What they will revert to is exactly what they're doing right now with these packs, with these store items, like with having Trailblazers right now. Do we need Trailblazers right now? It's 20 days into the game. We don't need these cards right now, but that's the easy way to sell packs. Everyone's excited. Everyone can jump into the store. Do we need to have these 3,000, 2,000 EA points, FC points, store packs every single day? No, we don't. That's the way for them to actually amass a shortfall of not having the player base. That's what is concerning me. I wish they would start looking at appeasing us as customers, but instead they're trying to make as much as they can from the store, which is just it's working for them which is why they're consistently doing it over and over again. And exactly as you said, if someone doesn't have a way to actually amass coins over a period of time, they think, what's the best I can do? I don't want to have a tradable card. Let me just go ahead and instead of buying a player for 85,000 coins, let me just go dump in and open the pack and expect a 5 million coin card. And that doesn't happen, but let me just try it. And it's really blatant. I think you've used the word blatant a lot this year, Dan. And it's very true. It is very true. And it's disappointing.
Ingve, has FIFA almost become a mobile game? Has it almost become one of those games that you buy on your iPhone or whatever, your Candy Crush, whatever games? Back in the day, it was Farmville on Facebook for those OGs who remember that, where you get into the game, but okay, you still have to pay for your game, but there's all these shortcuts, feeding that. I need to upgrade my team. I'm going to hit that store pack, Do we just need to accept now that we've gone away from a game or a game mode that is built around football and things like that into a money-making machine? Has it just completely jumped the shark and gone to that point now?
Yeah, I think so. But they can also make money, but I would rather them have you could spend points on buying a player than a pack hoping to get something, because you rarely get anything. But if you could say that, okay, pay £5 to get an inform, for example, that you want, then of course at least you're getting what you're actually hoping to get. But the way it is now is just gambling, and I think that's really wrong, though.
Where do the two of you sit on this increasing number of loan players as well that they're throwing at us? Of course, in these big packs now, you're getting base icons for 15 games, heroes for 20 games here and there. So suddenly, I got Eusebio in a 7-game loan. I'm like, I mean, that's great, but I shouldn't be getting Eusebio. I feel like I shouldn't be getting Eusebio this early, Shaq.
I'll give you an example. The RTTK Cup requires a UCL player, right? So my squad, I have Modric, so I have a UCL player. But my brother wanted to use his squad, and he didn't have a UCL player. And you know what his first thought was? He said, "Oh, maybe I should just go open." Because my brother, he used to play FIFA. He just walked away from it and just come back after 4-year hiatus. Thanks to listening to Dan and Nate talking about I think just before the season started, he was really impressed with the offering. So anyway, his first thought was, maybe I should go to the store and open a pack and get a loan for the RTTK Cup. And this is the mentality that he's just picked up in maybe 3 weeks or 2 weeks of playing FIFA or EAFC. So you know what I mean? It really is working. Whatever they're trying to do is working. We don't see it because we've been through the hard struggle of understanding how things work. But for new players, it's working. So it's a really scary mechanism, but it's working for them.
Ingve, your thoughts on loans? It's a deep inhale there.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't mind it if it's like kind of one objective, you need to use one, and there's no way you can afford to buy something, and you have the loan to use, then it's fair enough. But when you face like 7-8 loans in Rivals or in Foot Champs and things like that, then no, I'm not a fan. Shouldn't be. There should be either more limits or no loans in those modes at all.
I think I have a contrary opinion to that. I think if the loans are given, I have no objections with anyone using the loans. It's not really. I mean, if you have a loan in your club, big deal. Just use it. It's given to you. You've whatever. Should we be given that? That's the question that I have right now. That's the issue that I have right now. Do we need an Henry loan? Do we need a Ronaldinho loan in 20 days? We don't need that yet.
Yeah,
that's the part.
Yeah, I float both ways. I mean, I was saying to Maka in our Discord, like, it's great because I've got to experience Ronaldinho at this stage of the game, something I probably wouldn't ordinarily get to do. But I think, Shaq, it's to your point of where I don't mind getting them through objectives where everyone can get them. I start to have a bit of a problem when it's just the people paying for the big store packs and getting these big loans. That's where I have this slight issue. But look, we've got lots more to get into. We're going to come back after a word from our sponsors. This show is sponsored by CarMoney, the car finance ninjas, fighting to make cars affordable and accessible for everyone, no matter your financial situation. Nikki, the car finance ninja here, compares the top car finance lenders in both the UK and Australia to get you the best possible price so you don't have to, and they can get you approved fast. All you need to do is choose your new car and drive away happy. Get in touch with one of their friendly ninjas and start your car finance journey today. Right, gents, welcome back. That just about, I think, wrapped up this week in FIFA. But of course, the big main event, Ingve, we've talked about it a lot. We've sort of skirted around the sidelines. But Trailblazers is here. Talk us through some of the sort of main highlights. Let's start with some of the SBC and the objective that they released tonight.
Well, they released the Rodrigo SPC, of course, quite expensive. He did get a Playstyle Plus at least, which is the first touch one. I can't say that I've actually done the SPC, but I can't say that I noticed any difference with his first touch. But that could, of course, be me. It's supposed to be minimal error when he's trapping the ball and is able to transition to dribbling much faster. I can't say that I noticed anything of that, but I like the design of the cards. The card designers are doing a great job. I'm gonna admit that. Very nice with the colors and everything. And I liked his card on FIFA 23. It was really good. So that's kind of what tempted me, since I needed a right-sided player as well that can also play in different positions. So he's okay. I don't think he's worth around 400,000 coins. So kind of having a little bit of regret doing the SPC now. It didn't cost me much. I think I paid around 50k in total to do the SPC because I had to buy a few players. I had used the rest. So I kind of understand that the price isn't horrible, but I wish he had different work rates. I wish he would have a different play style that you would notice more. The whipped pass or cross or whatever, that would be much better, I think, for that type of player than a first touch thing. So
yeah, a mixed bag on the Rodrigo front. And Shaq, Callum Wilson as the objective player. Again, we talk about engaging content and players that you'd want to use. A 3-star, Callum Wilson, 86 rank, good for fodder. I suppose if you're literally just starting the game, good starter striker, but I think most people could have just evolved a player like this. If you've done something like a Nunez or a Danjuma or anything, they've not even given him a playstyle plus. It just feels half-hearted.
I mean, look, had they just given him 90 pace, just for the face card look, just for the 90 pace and 4-star weak foot, not even skill moves, just 4-star weak foot, it would be worth trying him out. He might still be decent in game, I don't know, but it's just not good enough. I don't think it's good enough. It's not worth. Well, I'm sure we will grind him out. Hopefully, he should be easy enough to grind, but it's one of those things where it's a free card, and yeah, it's just not there. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it at all.
No, he's not good enough, unfortunately. That's the problem, really. They're releasing lots of things that are behind the curve. I forgot I've been kind of raving about these evolutions, and of course we finally got two new ones this week. I was like, yes, there's 2 new ones, and then of course, okay, let's see. And then you look, Bruiser wingback. Okay, that could be cool. Okay, you need to have a silver. Okay, and it can't be a center back position on the card. Okay, that's a little bit annoying, but okay. And of course, there's kind of no players even worth trying to evolve, and the ones that could be fun, of course, they are extinct or max price if you don't have them already. And okay, but there's a paid evolution. Okay, I don't mind giving some coins for it if you can do something really cool. And then it's another winger thing. It's pacey winger. It's not relentless. 50k, and of course there's restrictions here as well. And it's, if you didn't have the other evolution, that relentless winger, then of course this one kind of okay. But you get some playstyles which really don't excite at all, and none of the player you can make maximum, they all have faults. So 50k for something that kind of already behind the curve, it's like, come on,
Yeah.
could have made this. I don't mind some restrictions, but if they had like you could have a 75 rated for the bruiser wingback. Then there are so many more cool cards you could have used. And why not make the center back ones, even though they play right back and center back, just come on, let us evolve them. We need some quick center backs as well anyways in the game, so there's not that many options you could have done.
Even if they made pacing, I don't understand why you can't have an RM for a pacing winger. It's just silly. Sorry, Shaq, you were going to say?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just with these evolutions. Like I can't think of an evolution that's actually either stayed at the curve or taken it forward. All the evolution cards seem to be behind already when they've been released, and they were probably on the curve the day we got the game. I'm talking about when we got the game before everyone else. That was the only time they felt like they were on the curve. Since then, for example, I was really excited to do them, but I don't think they're going to be making it to my squad anyway. So what's the point? The only one card that I'm using because I've spent 50,000 coins is Fati. That's the only card that I've spent the coins. He kind of is okay. He fits my squad, gives me chem, I'll keep using him. The rest of it, it's not engaging me the way I thought it would. And this is the part that I feel like it could be done a lot better. And one of the things that I was thinking of last night as well, you know how we were supposed to get a lot of evolutions along the way and like each week. If EA can't get a single SPC or an objective correct on a week-to-week basis, how do we expect them to get these evolutions spot on each week? It's a very I'm assuming it's quite complex to actually come up with all these things and have the parameters in place to get the right players. And we're expecting a lot from EA for them to keep chunking these out every single week without having any issues on these cards. Yeah. That's probably why they've been held back.
It's silly. And as Ingve pointed out, it's the fact you have to look at it. Would you pay 50,000 coins or what is it, the equivalent of £10 or something like that for FIFA points for that player? And no, I think the one thing I've seen is I saw I played someone with an Aston Villa theme team. He had the upgraded Alicia Lehman. So that's cool. And the only players I'm putting in these evolutions, I'm putting Reading players in. I'm evolving a Reading bronze right back because he's the only player eligible for the bruiser right back. But then I looked at it and I have to go and play in the Evo Lounge. I don't want to play in the Evo Lounge. Like for that upgrade, just let me play it in squad battles or rivals. Don't make me play 7 games in the Evo Lounge because
you need to play 10. 7 plus 3.
Just let us let us have our fun. So yeah, those 2 evolutions are out again. They do have a purpose. And again, if you are someone from and I come from that point of involving Reading players, it's great. But if you're looking for players that will get into your team, then again, I don't think these evolutions are for you. But let's go back to Trailblazers, Ingve, because again, they have had Shaq mentioned these absolutely monster cards out. Lots of headliners. And then quite a few players that, again, are just kind of filler.
Yeah, but one thing is that also annoys me a little bit is like when I first read playstyles plus upgrades for players on fire. And I thought, okay, everybody's going to get a playstyle plus. That's just cool that those lower rated players from the MLS, etc., etc. Okay, if they get a playstyle plus, okay, that could be really cool. But then if you look at the texting, the playstyle, the plus is in brackets. So it's not everybody that's going to get a plus playstyle. They're just going to get a normal playstyle. And of course, that doesn't boost the cards that much. Those lower rated ones should have all gotten a plus because that would make them more viable in game as well. And now they're kind of, they're missing something again. And the way that they word those things is a little bit annoying as well, saying that they kind of should have made it a little bit more clear, I think. I was looking at Callum Wilson. Okay, if he has a cool playstyle plus finesse shot or something, okay, the 3-star weak shot isn't that bad. But no, he didn't get any playstyle plus at all added. So it's like, then this promo is like, not so fun anymore.
Yeah, Shaq, I think it goes to what you said earlier. It's this whole, look, shiny new players you can get without actually, and most of these are going to be absolutely unattainable. I mean, look, Bellingham is $1 million, Mbappe is 4.7 million, Salah is $1 million, Hansen is 1.7 million. Griezmann is 750,000 coins as well. Koundé, 500,000 coins. And then you just get this massive drop off to basically everybody else. Is there anybody in that anybody else category, that people might be wanting to pick up that you think might improve value in time or could be a bit of a hidden gem?
I think a hidden gem could be, I think, is Mkhitaryan. If you have a Serie A squad, he's got a 5-star weak foot. He's got the passing trait. He's got CM, CDM, and CAM positions that he can play in. Stats look decent. He's always pretty good on the ball, and he's going to drop in price as well. He's only 73k. That's I think it's a good pick if you have a Serie A team and you can fit him in. I think he'll work really well. The other card I think is quite interesting. I just wish his base was high just from a face stat perspective, because I think Ruben Diaz. He's got an anticipate play style, which is amazing compared to his bruiser, which bruiser is not a bad play style, but I think anticipate is even better for a player like him. But the only thing that is concerning me is that he's got 65 pace. That's the part that I don't get. I don't know if they could have just done something with his pace and made this card like a really super usable card, and his price reflects it as well. He's going for 96k, which I still think is fairly high for what it is, but he's got the cool play style. So I think we'll only find out once we use him. And the other card, which is I think it's a downgrade in my opinion, is Koundé. Because Koundé was so popular because he had the actual playstyle that not many people have. It's that jockey plus playstyle. And now they've given him the slide tackle playstyle, which takes him backwards in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a little bit of a hidden gem, I think the one I might pick out is Acosta, who is an Argentinian playing in MLS, only 84 rated, but he's got 5-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. He's got 6 play styles, including incisive pass, technical, flair, first touch, relentless, and Trivela. And, he's got that Messi link. We might well have MLS objectives in the future. At the moment, he's going for discard. So, and he's, got some really nice stats if you dig into him. 99 balance, 95 agility. He's got that short and lean body type as well, Ingve. Could be, a little bit of value here. I'm not going to say he's going to transform your team, but could be worth a pickup in a stash.
Yeah, he looks like a fun card. That's what we want. We want some fun cards. Of course, he has his. I wish for me, I could have liked that his passing could have been a little bit better, because that would make him quite actually usable as well if you link him with Messi. But the rest of his style is probably really fun to use on the ball. And of course, all those great playstyles is nice as well. If one of them were plus as well, that would be great. If you had the incisive pass one as a plus, then the stats on the card isn't that important, and he would be probably very usable, and many would use him as well. Even though he had a 3-star weak foot, I still think he would be more than usable with the right playstyle. So that's kind of a shame that EA is holding these cards back. They're already low rated and already lacking stuff, but make them unique and special, and people will use them. Of course they would. If it's like, I like the look of the Caroline Nicoli.
Yes.
She's almost this card as well. She hasn't that high composure, but the rest is quite good on that card. If she had a playstyle plus playstyle, that card, I think I would try to fit in my main team, because 98 stamina as well. She's quite strong for a right-sided player or a striker, even though she is only 5'3". So with the strength and everything, aggression, she could be a little bit difficult to stop with that. So with a playstyle plus, this could have been really, really, really fun card.
It does feel like a little bit stingy just to put. It's almost like they're pre-planning for the inevitable party bag or pack they put in the store, isn't it? With guaranteed Trailblazer in there. Of course, I imagine we'll have a mini release at the weekend, and this is the 2-week promo, so there will be a Team 2 as well. But look, we are going to head into the mailbag, but of course, we got our other Friday feature. We're going to throw to the main man himself, the head of foot coaching, John, for our foot coaching tip of the week.
Hello, footies. Defend like a pro while using partial team press. You can activate partial team press by double tapping the R1 or the RB button on Xbox and hold it down on the second tap. This will bring up 2 blue markers of 2 of your players, and those players will mark the opponent's passing options as tightly as possible. They will continue to do so until you release the R1 or the RB button, switch players manually, or when their contained stamina runs out. So check out the depletion of the blue markers on top of their heads. This works very well against those annoying cutbacks too.
Thank you very much there, John. Right, gents, let's finish things off with a delve into the mailbag. Of course, you can submit questions through our Discord if you are a member of our Patreon, patreon.com/footinreview. And also, of course, check out our socials as well, Foot Coaching everywhere. Loads of great content, tips, hints going up. Advice on skill moves, tactics. Got a corner tactic video going up that will be a real benefit to a lot of people as well going up. So give that a follow. That's absolutely free. And if you want to go the extra mile, again, head to the Patreon. Gets you into the Discord and you can submit questions just as John has. And basically, his long story short, his question, gents, was: should you sandbag in a division or not? Shaq, what are your feelings on sandbagging? And sorry, just explain to everybody what sandbagging means.
Essentially, sandbagging is staying in a division for the sake of staying in the division, not moving up intentionally. And at this stage of the game, I wouldn't condone. Well, people have their choice to do whatever they like, but I don't think you should be trying to sandbag right now. Get to see how I think you also will improve as you go up. I think I'm a much better player now in Div 5 than I was in maybe Div 8, Div 7, whatever. So you do get better as you play better players. So it's a really good opportunity to get better at the game, which is so different to last year. You can worry about sandbagging later on in the year. Right now, just see what you can do, and yeah, just keep moving up as much as you can. I mean, don't just aim to move up. Just keep playing. Don't lose games for the sake of losing games.
Yeah, Ingve, the 2 main sort of arguments for sandbagging are that, of course, with friendlies still being skill-based, you'll have an easier time if you do want to go into the Evo Lounge or the road to the Knockout Cup. And also other people, are pointing out the fact that if you've got limited time, say if you are in a division appropriate for your level, you might be win 1, lose 1. So, it might take you 16, call it 16, 17 games to get your wins for the week. Whereas if you're in a division that's maybe a little bit below you, then you might only have to play 10 games. So some people say, well, I've not got that much time to play rivals. I'd rather just get my rewards. I'm not too bothered about the competitiveness. I just want my packs.
Yeah, that's the kind of mindset a lot of people have on the game, I think. And not everybody can play for hours every day, so I kind of understand if they don't want to stress too much getting promoted, because if you want to test yourself, you do that in FUT Champs. So there's that mode. You'll get to face kind of few easy ones and more difficult as you go along, which is nice as well. So you get the competitive side that way. If you have lots of time and you like to play the game and spend many hours a day playing matches, then you should, of course, try to go as high as you can, because that will make you a much better player than camping in the lower divisions. But if you feel that this is too much stress, you don't have that much time, and you kind of struggle, if you see that you won't be able to reach some goals that you thought you were supposed to do or people expect you to do, then I just stay where you feel that this makes the time fun spending on this game, at least for me.
I'm absolutely with you. I think it's very much a personal choice. If you are competitive, I think, as Shaq says, try and pit yourself and find yourself where you can go, because you'll get better and then the games will get easier for most people. But I think the big problem with sandbagging, the whole reason we have to talk about it, is because there is no relegation. And I really do think relegation needs to come back, not just at the end of every season where you get to go back a couple of divisions. I think there should be an option. I think there should be some sort of a form-based thing, like of every 20 games, maybe an alert comes up saying, over the last 20 games, you've only won 5 games. Would you still like to continue in this division, or would you like to move down? just something like that. So if people, people play co-op, for example, get up to a division. Sometimes you can just go on a good run. You can get 5 or 6 opponents that you're better than. You beat them, and suddenly you find yourself in a division where you're not that comfortable. So I absolutely understand sandbagging, but yeah, I don't tend to do it. But I am certainly not fussing and pushing the boat out to get promoted anytime soon. But gents, I think that just about wraps up this show. The reason, of course, John is not hosting today is because he is away on the meetup in Scotland. Again, stay tuned to all the socials for lots of videos for that. Hopefully they'll get John doing some karaoke or something like that. We look forward to that. So Jurian, who's doing our socials, you know what to do, my friend. But anything else to bring up before we go? Shaq, I'll start with you.
No, I think we're all talked out about this game, but yeah, I'm
Ingve?
good. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want EA to kind of make things a little bit more attractive to spend time on the game. Make some good evolutions, for example. Better rewards, communicate what's going to happen with the season milestones. Are we going to get 1 TIFO for playing 90 matches? That would be interesting to know.
Unbelievable.
So better communications would be nice.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
EA, you can do this. You make so much money. We are not asking for the world. Just like Ingve said, just some communication, just some hands up. Just have a forum. Like, don't just send like one developer on to Foot Weekly. Like, send people out there. Have an open house. Have like a Reddit AMA with some developers or some content team production. But I don't think they're going to. They're not going to want to do anything that jeopardizes the golden goose. And that is the big shame. I understand it from a business point of view. Ultimately, they are doing everything legally that they are required to do. They are not cheating anybody. Everybody knows, the warnings and stuff are there, but you have the power to be better. So please be better. And as I said, fix that companion app. Please fix that companion app. Look, we will be back with a show on early next week, of course, on Tuesday. Thank you to all of our patrons, as always. Thank you to our kind sponsors as well. And thank you to all of you listening out there, those of you who are following our socials, leaving us those 5-star reviews. It's so appreciated each and every week. You can find me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it these days, Wimby or Wimby86. Shaq, what are you?
Shaq Attack 6285.
And Ingve?
Evgnoni.
Excellent. You know where to find us. We are always in the Discord. Only one thing left for us to do, chaps. Ingve, I'll start with you.
Drop it.
Shaq.
Drop it.
We are going to drop it.
Drop it.
F-U-T. F-U-T. F-F-F-U-T. F-U-T. T. T. Interview. F-U-T.